Good evening, everyone, and welcome to T-Bird's Table Talk, where today we will be discussing using OBS. OBS is a free software that allows people to stream, insert video content, images, and even import it into Zoom. So if you're not familiar with the program, I'm going to help you get started, and let's begin. All right, so the first thing you want to do is subscribe, pause this video, go and get your cell phone so that you can watch the video from a cell phone or another device, or utilize your second desktop screen if you have one. So once you get started and get ready and set up, we'll begin. So first thing you want to do is go to your Google box, right? And we're going to open up and search for OBS Studio. Then you'll see two links, one that says broadcaster software and the other one that says download. So if you click on that download link, it'll bring you to this page where you'll see the OBS logo. You'll see Windows sign for compatibility, Crapple, and Linux. Then when you scroll down, you'll see the available packages that you can use to download. Now, if you have a Microsoft computer like most people, you want to use a 32-bit installer, and then it will download into your downloads folder. Additionally, there are quick start guides and other references on the site that will help you if for some odd reason this video isn't explanatory enough. So next, I'm sorry, this is a pre-recording. What was I doing? Who knows? Oh, okay. It was still downloading. All right, so once you click execute, you'll see the license terms and agreements page as usual. Scroll through that, make sure you understand your legal responsibilities and what they're legally responsible for. Click next, choose a folder that you want to download it into, and click next. It's that simple. So that was real-time installation and downloading. It's a very lightweight program, so it shouldn't take up a lot of your computer resources. Then we're going to go and click launch and finish if it's not already checked. And in your top left hand screen, you'll see on your desktop the OBS Studio logo. So once you've clicked on finish, this screen will pop up and it'll look pretty much exactly like this because this is a fresh install right here. And this top screen, that is what your viewers will see. That is what will render when you record. So that is basically your playground to play with. On the bottom left, you will see screens. So screens are basically like short clips of whatever it is that you want to view, what you want your audience to view. Now, you can add as many screens as you like, and it could be you and someone else. It could be you in a full image. It could be you sharing a screen with someone else, or it could be something else. Now, to get started with screens, you click the little plus symbol, type in whatever you want to call it, in this case, intro. And then on the right, you're going to see sources. Now we have to add sources to our screens to make them, interactive and dynamic, giving our viewers something to watch. So first thing we're going to add is a video capture device. That is going to be all of your cameras that you want to add. So we're going to call this one my front webcam because we're not creative right now. And then we're going to add it. All right, now you'll see a drop down. Any cameras you already have added will be on that list. And how about that? Change closed. So yes, and then you're going to click on capture video, and here it'll allow you to change your camera settings, or as people say, filters. I don't know why, but your contrast is going to make your video, your darks darker and your lights lighter. Your hue is going to change it from red, greens, and blues, and your saturation is going to deepen those red, greens, and blues. Scroll down to the bottom and then check whatever microphone you want to use with that camera. Additionally, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, sometimes your white balance can be off by default. So the other thing about this is that every camera you add, be mindful if it has a built-in microphone or if it does not have a microphone, because you want to go down to the bottom as I just did and you want to change those settings. All right, because you don't want three microphones recording at the same time and then have all of your audio coming out at once. All right, so once you have gotten your quality wherever it is that you want it, you'll see this screen right here, and you can adjust this by moving the red square anywhere around the page, well, anywhere around your screen that you want it. Once you find a good position and you get it locked in place, you can click on the plus symbol, and we're going to add a image. Oh. First, if you don't have an image, there's something you can do to create a quick background, and select your color, and we're going to choose kind of a goldish looking color. So everybody doesn't have a background. It's an easy way to get started and make a background, but it can be kind of dynamic. There's plugins and filters and different things that you can use with OBS. There's a lot of free stuff out there that you can import into it, but for now we're just gonna go over a lot of the basic stuff to help get you started. Notice in that box over there that I'm moving around that if you want to add a custom color that's not on that panel, you have to click on the option to add custom color. Now this is on top of the video, so we're going to move it down to the bottom by clicking order and then moving down. And now you can see the video on top of it, and actually kind of looks like a background. So the next thing we're going to do is add some text. So you click on the text icon from sources. You're going to call your text whatever you want to call your text. Basically whatever information you want to display to whoever's receiving this video or viewing your video. And we're going to call this video title. How original. There's lots and lots and lots of different fonts you can use to help you, not have a lot of mismatching fonts going all about your video. So change your size, click OK, pick your color, whatever color you want the font to be. Then you can also change the occupancy to make it a little more or less translucent if you like. And then behind it, in the background of your text, you can have like a little text box that does the exact same thing, where you can pick a different color, and you can also change the occupancy of it. So we're going to do kind of a grayish, blackish tone here. See what that looks like. Sometimes you have to play around with it for a little bit to see how you like it. So once you click that, you'll notice at the top it's going to be very, very small. You go and drag it down. Then you can stretch it out to whatever size, dimension, whatever area of the page that you want to put it at. And then once you find a comfortable place for your title or your input or whatever kind of text you're trying to display, you just set it there. And if you want to go back and change it, make some alterations to it, you just go back to it and do it again. Now we're going to add a display capture. So a display capture is basically how you add your second screen. So if you have a dual monitor, you can add that to share information with your viewers, whether it be a web page, a website, another video, or whatever it is, and then however many monitors you have connected, you just pick and choose whichever monitor you want to display, and boom, there is my monitor that I want to display. Now this is in front of my text because everything is layered. And if you want to move it around, however you want to move it around, you can move it around. There's a few different cool techniques you can do or use. If you want to do kind of a full screen thing and then drop it down to the background, change the order, move it down to the bottom. Now we can't see the title. However, it's not really that big of a deal. You can always go back and change the color. Don't want too much of your video going over your screen when you're screen sharing, so be mindful of what exactly it is that you're trying to show your audience. See, as you can see, this is my actual desktop, not just a picture. So the next thing we're going to do is going to add a second screen. That way we can transition between the two. And on the second one, we're going to add another camera device. And since we already have one added, we're going to click on Add Existing. And that's going to give us the camera that we have already added. And now we can use the second screen to do a full screen view, or you can change it up and do whatever you think is necessary. You can move it around to the left or the right, and that way you have different screens. And we're going to call this one full screen. All right, so now you have a full screen and you have a smaller screen that you can share. Well, I'm sorry, smaller video. So as you can see, if you want to copy elements from one screen source to another screen, you can just right click and copy and paste it. So you don't have to recreate some of these things that you're creating. It saves you a lot of time. So right now I'm just going to adjust this because it is barely visible, just so you can kind of see and get an idea of what you might want to do or need to do. See, now it has kind of a glossy effect, kind of a I don't know what it's called, like a frosty effect, where you can make it go all the way solid, whatever's comfortable for you, whatever you need to do. All right, so now we have two scenes. We have some sources that we want to display, and we can transition in between both of them. So the last thing we're going to do is we need to add in a audio source. So you can add an existing mic, or you can add a new mic. Whatever microphones you have, whether USB or whatever that are connected, you can go ahead and add those from that drop down. They're going to automatically be in there. You don't have to search for them. And right now I'm going to go to Docs because my audio tray was not there. So there's a lot of different mics that are going to be in there by default, whatever's kind of connected. And you want to make sure that you have audio on all of your scenes coming from the same source or whatever source that it needs to come from. Any ones you're not using, turn them off by clicking on the little sound icon, just like on your computer. And you can use a little slider to get the right balance. You just don't want it in the red. All right, just to make things kind of simple. There's a lot of other settings and filters and things you can do. I have to make a lot of changes to mine personally, but when I do so, I will make a video on that and explain to you the ins and outs of audio, because I am not an audio engineer. So let's see here. Audio. Yes. Make sure you cut and copy and paste your audio settings for whatever audio devices you're using into each one of your scenes. You don't want to click on the scene and have no audio, or have audio playing from a device that sounds different from what everyone was already listening to. Because sometimes audio is not that great coming out of a webcam. If you can't afford a $20, $30, $100 mic, go ahead and get you one, because laptop audio is not that great. It's suitable if you're, just doing a class project or something like that, but in a professional world, you do not want to use built-in microphones from laptops or webcams. There's a few out there that are pretty good and decent, but not a lot. So we are looking at filters, and if you right click on any of those, icons down there under your source list, that will allow you to change the properties or the filters. Everything has different filters, so you just kind of right click on whatever it is, an image or display capture or audio or whatever, and you can change all kinds of different filters and properties within your settings. There's 3 different ways to do it. One is by clicking on the top screen, right clicking on that. At the very bottom you'll see filters and properties, and then along that little bar down there you'll see filters and properties. Or you can right click on one of the sources that you already have to see filters and properties. And that is my tutorial for OBS. I hope you guys enjoyed this audio visual. So if there's anything else that I didn't go over that you want to learn about, that you want to know or would like to learn, drop a comment below. Please like and subscribe. I can also say right now, there is probably going to be a video on how to stream from a different camera source. So let's say you have a friend and you want to invite them to your stream or your recording. I'm going to show you a way in my next video on how to add a camera source from somewhere else. Very simple. They don't have to install any software or anything like that. And I'm also going to show you a few other settings, a few other tips and tricks within OBS if you're interested. All right. Thank you all for joining, and have a great day.